As I reflect on my relationships with God, others, and myself during this course, I can identify several areas that apply to me from what we've covered and discussed. I have applied lessons from the personality profile this week that have already paid dividends. In regards to emotion and perceptions, I found things in my interactions with others that I'm more aware of now. One of the biggest eye openers for me was this week's lesson on the qualities of friendship and how I can apply those to all of my relationships, not just to friendships. Being an instructor, I've seen several things that I do in classes that I could do to improve the interactions between my students and myself. For example, I'm teaching a class this week, and I changed my introduction to make it more personal to my students. They're Navy, and I'm retired Navy. Using my personality profile, I was able to find experiences from my service that relate to the topics that I'm teaching. The way that I've interacted with my students has allowed us to build a relationship of mutual trust both in and out of the classroom. Using the lessons that I learned about emotion and perception has allowed me to be more myself as an instructor. The byproduct of this trust and confidence is that it has opened up my students and empowered them to ask questions related to the material and to the system they're not normally asked. By doing so, they have gained a better understanding of not only how the system works, but also how it can be used to make it easier for them to be successful in their missions. In my personal life, I have found the lesson on emotion and perception to be of great benefit. The same week of this lesson, my pastor taught about emotion and perception in his sermon. He showed how it is useful to identify others who may be struggling, either in life or in their relationship with God. At my church, we have an emphasis on groups, with the common theme that everyone needs a group. Groups provide a structure of support through common interest while sharing the Word of God together. In the past, I let my travel schedule keep me from joining a group. Thanks to these lessons, I will no longer allow my work travel to keep me from building relationships and growing closer to God and my church family. From this week's lesson, I became more aware of the 4 qualities of friendship that go into making a good relationship: loyalty, forgiveness, honesty, and dedication are all things that I was aware of before this lesson. However, I never really put them into the same perspective or level of importance in regards to maintaining a relationship. I've always kept my circle of friends very small and, as they say, close to my chest. I have a few good friends that I have had most of my life without really thinking about how well I was tending to those relationships. Thankfully, these relationships have stood the test of time and distance. My wife and I have a relationship that has all 4 of the qualities on both sides. Our relationship is rooted in our faith in God, with love and respect for each other as we continue to grow our marriage and our relationship through these qualities of friendship. My wife is my best friend, and we always make time for each other and try to spend as much time as possible as a family. I have used honesty to build a relationship with my stepchildren that has grown stronger with time. My stepdaughter and I had a very rough start in the beginning. With me being honest with her and making the time to support her as she performs in her favorite school time activity of show choir, our relationship has grown and greatly improved. She has learned over time that she can trust that I will always be there for her, and by participating with her and the show choir, we have forged a good relationship, and both of us have made some new friends as well. I've been able to see areas of my life where I can make improvements in myself and in my relationships that will have positive outcomes in the future. One of these is tending to the relationships with my family and friends. I had the opportunity to spend this Saturday with my oldest brother. Convenient enough, we were both on work travel in Southern California. We met and had breakfast before we walked around and talked most of the day. We talked about some of the family things that have been harmful to our relationship recently. By doing so, we were able to talk out these issues and resolve them. We've always had a good relationship, but there was an issue with one of our brothers last year that made things a bit tense between all 4 of us. Over the years, there have been more than a few brotherly quarrels, which has led to my brothers not talking with each other, and I have been the Switzerland of the family, as I'm the only one that talks to all 3 brothers. I do find simple irony in the idea of me being the neutral party and the youngest. In conclusion, I've learned a lot about relationships and personal interactions so far in this course. I hope that one day I will use these skills to restore my family relationships and my friend relationships. I'll be using them to make my work and volunteer relationships better as well. With God by my side, I will continue my learning journey, and with His love and guidance, one day I'll be close to the people that I love and cherish the most. This includes my family, my friends, and my church family as well. I am grateful for what I am learning and look forward to what God has in store for me as I continue my education with Colorado Christian University.